Now, you're not going to like this, folks, but the truth is you're probably going to run out of health before you run out of money. Seriously, I want you to take a moment and think about what that means. You're grinding away in your job, you're dealing with deadlines, pressure, commutes, stress, all this with the dream that one day you'll retire and finally get to live. But the data says that most of us only make it to about 61 in good health. That's the average point where health problems begin to take over. And yet we're told to work until we're 65, 67, 70. Some of us have to do that because they haven't saved enough money. And by the time you're actually free, your body and mind might already be giving up. Now, why does nobody talk about this? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why waiting could be the worst decision you make, how retirement ties directly into your health and happiness, and how to start preparing for earlier retirement. And there's one upcoming pension change that could actually impact everything, so stick around. So why does this matter more than you think? Well, according to the latest data in England, the average healthy life expectancy is just 61.5 years for men and 61.9 for women. Now think about that. You get 61 good years, and then what? You're not just planning for life after retirement, you're planning for how little of it you might actually enjoy if you wait too long. If your plan is to retire at 65 or later, you might already be too late to really enjoy life. And the thing is, if you think that's just bad luck or a worst case scenario, it's not. It's just the average. For some people, that unhealthiness happens much earlier. Now, we're told our whole lives that work is what gives us purpose. Go to school, get a job, then retire. And retiring early is just a dream. We should be patient and only stop when we're older. But the truth, well, our bodies and minds were not really designed to work full time for 50 years. We wear down. Chronic stress builds, poor sleep, sitting around all day, missing time with loved ones. It all takes an emotional and physical toll. So a healthy life expectancy, or HLE, in England is just over 61 years. I know I keep saying that, meaning many people begin to experience some form of physical or mental health challenge around that age. Now, whilst not everybody develops a serious condition, there are some common issues like heart problems, back and knee problems. They can dramatically hinder your ability to get around. Then as you get older, you're most likely to suffer a heart attack, cancer, or a stroke. The stats are pretty grim actually, but for the most part, life does not stop, but it does highlight how important it is to make the most of your healthy years. And if you're thinking, well, I'll be the exception, ask yourself this: are you really doing anything different to the average person? Are you working the same hours? Are you working more? Are you working less? Are you working in the same conditions, under the same kind of stresses as everybody else? Well, the hard truth is this: if you don't take your health seriously now, retirement might come too late to really enjoy it. Now, when people hear retire early, most assume it's only possible for the rich. But early retirement isn't about being rich. It's about being intentional and realistic. The FIRE movement, that's financial independence, retire early. We've got another video about that altogether. That proves this isn't just a dream for the ultra wealthy. People from all walks of life, teachers, nurses, tradespeople, financial advisors, small business owners, we're all finding ways to step away from full-time work in your 40s and 50s, not your 60s and your 70s. It's not because they won the lottery either, it's just because they made intentional choices, well-informed decisions. They focused on freedom instead of keeping up with the crowd. They planned ahead, they spent with purpose, and they gave their money direction. They prioritize freedom over consumerism. They track their spending. They save aggressively, often 30%, 40%, sometimes more of their income. They invest in funds. They avoid lifestyle creep. They live simply and meaningfully. I actually follow many couples on Facebook groups who have rented their UK homes out. They've bought a decent sized van. They've converted it into a home, and they are living their best lives in their 40s and 50s. So the question is not, can I retire early? The question is, what am I willing to change so I can? Now let me tell you about Evelyn. Let's call her Eve. At 49, she was stuck. On the outside, her life looked sorted. Solid job in marketing, nice home, that was obvious to see. She had a regular income, but the truth, she was exhausted. The 40-hour weeks plus overtime, the constant deadlines, the mounting stress, a boss she didn't really like, it was taking a toll. She felt like she was watching her whole life pass by, not actually taking part in it. Now then she came to our daughter's graduation. It should have been a proud, joyful, lovely day, but as As Eve sat there watching her daughter walk across the stage, all she could think about was work, emails she hadn't answered because she'd taken a bit of time off, meetings she needed to prep for, everything waiting for her the next morning. That was a wake-up call that very day, that very moment. Surrounded by proud families, flashing cameras, she realised she wasn't really there, not for her daughter anyway, and certainly not for herself. She was physically present, of course, but mentally she was stuck in the same loop she'd been in for years. So that night, she made a decision. She reached out to Reeves for a free financial review, and during that first meeting, she was crystal clear: I want to retire early while I'm still healthy, preferably now. Now I want time for my family, my friends. She says, I want to travel, I want to really live, I want to go and see the Great Wall of China. That was one of our bucket list entries, and it had been sitting on that bucket list for decades, so we got to work. We built a detailed financial forecast tailored to our goals to see what was possible. We analysed our current situation, our pensions, our savings, our lifestyle, and most importantly, her timeline. And guess what? It was actually possible. With a clear plan, a focused strategy, and some adjustments to her spending habits, Eve could leave full-time work behind at 55. And that's exactly what she did. So today, Eve's life is completely different. She hikes, she travels, she's finally stood on the Great Wall of China. She spends her mornings having coffee with friends instead of sitting in traffic. And when she's with her daughter now, she's fully there, laughing, listening, living. Eve didn't win the lottery. She didn't inherit a fortune. She just made a decision, got the right advice, decided how much income she could cope on, and she followed through. When people ask if she misses the job, she just smiles and says, I didn't realize how much life I was putting on hold until I finally stopped. It's powerful, folks, and it's something to seriously consider about your own goals and where you are at right now. The reality is that our healthiest years are limited, and delaying retirement planning can mean missing out on the time when you're most able to enjoy life properly. So planning ahead isn't just about money, folks. It's about protecting your freedom, your health, and the choices in the years that matter the most. Now, here's what most people don't understand. Time is your most valuable resource, more than money, more than status. Once it's gone, it's gone. If you wait to retire until you're 67, you may have already lost the years when travel was easy. So I'm 57 and I can tell you my knees are definitely not what they used to be. So you might have missed your chance to climb mountains when you get older. You'll take long trips with your partner, chase your dreams, or even just wake up without an alarm. Retiring earlier gives you back your time while you're still able to use it well. Now I'm just going to pause here for a moment and say we've done a number of videos on early retirement and the steps you can take. So I'll share that at the end of this video, so look out for that. Beyond the physical, there's the mental toll of waiting to retire as well. As I'm sure it's no surprise to know, work stress is one of the biggest contributors to anxiety, to depression, and ultimately to burnout. And working jobs you don't enjoy or working just to survive, that will eat away at your happiness. Mental health improves dramatically for people who retire earlier. They've got less stress. Obviously, there's more time with their loved ones. There's time to pursue hobbies. They can give back to society, or do you know what? They can just rest. The cost of waiting is higher than you actually think. You can always earn more money, but you can't earn more time. And you certainly can't earn back missed memories. So real wealth for me is walking your child to school every morning, or your grandchild in my case. It's sitting in the garden with your parents whilst they're still here. I've still got my mum, but I lost my dad last year. It's traveling when your knees still work and you don't need a dozen pills a day. Retirement isn't about never working again. It's about choosing how to spend your days. And of course, you can still work a little bit if you want. You can do some volunteering. You can start the business you always dreamed of, turn a hobby into a business. You can spend time with your friends, whatever you want to do. It's your life. Shouldn't you get to live it on your terms? In the UK, you can access many private pensions from age 55 as it is now, but you might not realise it, but that age is rising to 57 starting in April 2028. Now that's a big deal, because if you're in your late 40s or early 50s right now, that 2-year difference could make or break your early retirement plan. The sooner you prepare, the more options you will have. Start by building a clear retirement strategy. What is it you want to do in retirement ideally? You want to be maximising your pension contributions. We do lots of videos on that. You want to be using ISAs and other tax efficient vehicles wherever you can. You want to be investing in assets that grow over time, and you want to properly assess your attitude to risk and understand what risk really means in the circles that we're talking about. We've done so many videos now on early retirement and the different strategies strategies to get you there. So please check out our channel and you can watch them in your own time over and over again. And make sure you like and subscribe. It's not about overnight wealth either, folks. It's about building freedom brick by brick. And if that means driving an older car or skipping a few takeaways each month, ask yourself, is that really a sacrifice, or are you actually investing in your future self? Now, here's how to get started. Well, first, get a full picture of your finances. Know what you earn, what you spend, and where your money is disappearing to. Most people have no idea. Next, cut ruthlessly. Cancel the subscriptions you don't use. That one at the gym that you forgot to cancel, or you just go once a month. Pack it in and go and get a walking machine. Stop spending to impress people, in particular, especially people who you don't even like. Simplify, then invest. Use index funds or tracker funds. Use pensions, use ISAs. Whatever works for your situation. Get some good quality advice as well. If you want to come and talk to us, of course, we're listening to you. Just make sure your money is working harder than you are. And finally, this is big, folks. Prioritize your health. Get active. Sleep more. Eat proper food, stress less if you can, because no amount of money will buy you a second chance at good health. The goal isn't just to stop working, it's to create a life you don't need a vacation from. Now let's address the elephant in the room. When you start talking about early retirement, some people will look at you sideways like that. They'll say, but you're still young. What are you even going to do all day? And let me tell you, that's their fear. It's not yours. People are uncomfortable with what they don't understand. They're frightened of it and choosing a different path, especially one they secretly wish they could follow. That makes them question all of those choices. But you're not retiring early to do nothing. You're retiring early to live with purpose. You're retiring early to write that book, to travel the world, spend more time with your kids, with your grandkids, with your parents, with your folks. You're going to help your community. You're just going to breathe. That's not being lazy, folks. That's living. Now, if you want to live a full, vibrant life and not just exist until your pension kicks in, then retiring early isn't just smart, it's absolutely necessary. Don't wait until your health is failing. Don't wait until your parents are gone. Don't wait until you've missed the moments that actually matter. Start planning now. It's never too early to take that freedom seriously. Now, if you've never seriously considered retiring early, now's the time to start. If this video has opened your eyes and given you food for thought, please give it a thumbs up. Here's a quick no pressure plug. We can help. We're offering a free financial review valued at over 800 quid. No jargon, no obligation to become a client either. Think of it as a chance to see if you're on the right track to retire early, or at least earlier than you think. With just a few adjustments to your financial plan, you might be closer than you think. And we see this every single day with people. Just don't know what's possible. And that's what we deal in, the art of what is possible. So please click the link in the description, book a time that works for you, and we really do look forward to helping you take that next step. Now that you know why early retirement matters, let's dive into how to actually make it happen. And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through the early retirement blueprint step by step. You'll discover how to invest smarter, how to plan strategically, and how to build a lifestyle that gives you the financial freedom we've been talking about today. It's all about creating wealth, understanding wealth, and how much wealth you really need. It's about reclaiming your time and retiring years ahead of when you thought you could. So click right here to watch it, and I'm going to see you there.